you times that by 1,000, you'll get 144,000. So that's talking about you saving you and then being illuminated. So who illuminated is just your mind becoming light, also your body. But how? Not believing that God is outside of yourself, not going to a church on Sunday, not running around thinking you're living in sin and feeling like that you have to be in some type of subservient role that you're not, in some type of subordinate role to another entity. You're giving all your energy to another entity when you're praying to whatever it is. And it makes no sense for a blue-black man in Africa to be praying to a white god. It makes no sense for an Eskimo to be praying to a Japanese god, or Irish to be praying to a black god. It makes no sense because, as I said in the beginning, God, the first God is a woman. The second God is God. That's a man. That's man. That's the 5-pointed star you see. God, Jesus died on the cross for your sins. If you stand up like this and put your arms out, that's the cross. That's the cross. Your back, your spine is Jacob's ladder. The back of your skull is the cup. God is housed at the top of the temple in the kingdom. So once you understand that and get a central understanding, so your mother is the first God you meet, your father is the second God you meet. Then if you have siblings, then those will be the next. Then after that, you'll branch out and start meeting people, and then until you get older, you don't really get a central understanding of yourself. So then you should come to the realization that you are God as well. But then once you get older, you branch off from that family and create your own family. Then you start having reflections of yourself, which are also God, which are your children or your wife. And we'll get into that later on into the lesson. So then when you say, what's another way to understand yourself? This is coming out of we're going to give out a lot of books today. This is going to come out of the Hearth book by Divine Being Divine. He has a whole lot of good imagery and pictures. Sorry, I got tongue-tied on that word there. A lot of imagery and good pictures to show people. And then I have a lot of drawings of my own and stuff like that, and books of my own as well that I'll be giving out pictures of, and I will give out copies of if necessary as well. So this is the zodiac signs, the Last Supper. And you go from the first, which is Aries, all the way to the end, which is what I am, a Pisces. So, and then you got Jesus, which is the sun sitting in the middle. And then when they talk about the right-hand man and all that, and that's why I said to you, you got to understand a lot of these words and stuff and a lot of these sayings and stuff, they're around for a reason, but they just don't make sense because we haven't took the time to understand what the hell they truly mean. But so when they say right-hand man, it's really right-hand woman, because the right hand to Jesus was Mary, and that's symbolized as the Virgo sitting on the right side, has no Adam's apple. That's the Virgin Mary. So, and Jesus didn't walk alone, walked with Mary Magdalene, because if you go through Jesus's esoteric teachings, where Jesus teaches, I am God, and God is within, you learn that he gave those teachings to the closest to him, which was the duality and polarity of him, which was the reflection of him, which was the woman, which he embodied, masculine and feminine as well, just like Mary also was masculine and feminine. And the main one that you must understand is the feminine aspect. We all live in a masculine world, which is a square way of thinking. So I'm going to show you what I mean by square way of thinking and draw it out for you. So I'm going to hold this up to give you some words. I'll hold this up for a few seconds, but then I'm going to erase it, and I'm going to give you the square way of thinking and the circle way of thinking. You got God. If you turn it around, it's dog or good. But that's where they give you moral dogma. But if you turn the word dogma around, you get am God. Then you got the word devil, which is evil. If you turn it around, you get the word live, but it's also love. You must evolve. You got the heart, which is earth. You got head, which is heaven. Head, heaven. Heel, hell. That's why the bottom of your feet. That's why in biblical times washing of the feet was so popular. That's because that's where your godhood is housed as well. Because polarity and duality is what's so above is so below, what's so within is so without, and all around. So hell, heel, sola, feet. You got demon, which D is just a negative, man, but or spirit. So it's just a negative spirit, negative energy. Demon, Damien, jinn, the genie, the jinn. That's why when you go to liquor stores and stuff, you see spirits and wine. So then you got Christ, Christos. That's the black dot. That's the melon. So then you got archangel, but it's really archangle because you're a five-pointed star. You're a five-pointed star. Then you got religion, which is rely on the jinn or believe. In the middle of believe, you get the word lie. So these are just some words for you to understand. I got generator, operator, destroyer on that side, G-O-D. So I'll leave this up. Anybody wants to copy that down. So, but understanding though, understanding words and symbology, etymology, it's real big. It's real big to understand this stuff, because also too in the Bible Jesus taught in parables. So it's hard to decode these things when you don't understand the words that are being used, and you're only being given just a little bit to work with. So let's see, get us a marker here. Okay, let's go. So when we say square, we got the square and we got the circle. So you got the masculine and you got the feminine. You got logic and you got the spiritual. You got left brain, right brain. So we'll go masculine for the square, and we'll go feminine for the circle. So we got the number 1 and the number 2. So masculine is logical. It's more logical, more worldly thinking. Right here we got the left brain. You got logical. You got math, science, objective, uses words and language, present and past, knowing, acknowledges, reality-based, safe. Then the opposite of that would be the feminine, the right brain, which is random, intuitive, philosophy, spirituality, subjective, uses feelings, imagination, symbols, images, present and future, believes, appreciates, fantasy-based, adventurous. So you got fire, you got water, you got 6, you got 9. That's why they say the 69, because you have to bring these two together, the west hemisphere and the east hemisphere of your brain, of your subconscious and your consciousness. That's to marry within, to be wholesome, to be harmonious, to have harmony. Is to bring the logic, which is the square, and the circle, which is the feminine. But you have to understand that this is superior to this. That's like looking into a window. You can look out it, you can look in it. So it's not as sacred per se. But think of the spiritual side as a peephole. And if someone walked up to your door and tried to look into your peephole, they can't see in, but you can see out. That's spirituality. That's above that. So, then let's see. We're going to erase this and we're going to show you why the letter G is at the beginning of the word God. So you take the letter G, as seen here. Take that, make you a square. You take that, you make you a circle. That's 360 degrees of knowledge, 360 degrees of knowledge. You get 720 degrees of knowledge. You add that together, that equals 9. 9 is divine. Anywhere you see significance, you'll see the number 9. Women carry babies for 9 months. Cats have 9 lives. So forth and so on. Anywhere you see 9, know that it has some deep spiritual meaning. But they only give you the square way of thinking, no matter where you go on this planet, most time. That's why when you graduate high school, you have a square cat and you toss it off.